we understand that. No, we're here to validate the 3-year-old that can't rationalize this. We're here to validate the person that internalized and built limited beliefs and ideas about themselves based on dad and mom's absence, whether it was emotional or physical. That's what we're here to reprogram, because you're still behaving in a way based on the messaging that you got in childhood. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got to slow down and actually look at shit. That's why we got to stop pointing fingers and being so scared of people judging us. Sometimes judging our character is exactly what we need. Okay? We're so scared of someone saying something negative about us, but maybe that's what we need to hear. There is a time where all of us need to get our feelings hurt. Hey, it's not intentional, but the way you act, someone needs to let you know. Okay? It's not, and the way you take it has everything to do with your ability to emotionally regulate. The way that you feel about it has everything to do with your awareness and the amount of time that you've sat to really think about who you are and how you show up and how you impact people. Some of you are a bull in a china shop, and someone needs to let you know, you're really rough around the edges a little bit. Calm it down. Why do you always cuss when things get upset? Why do you go from 0 to 100? I'm just trying to have a basic conversation. Why do you look like you're ready? Why? How come as soon as someone says, hey, can I talk to you about something that you did wrong? But y'all are like this. When your friends get hurt, you're like this. Toxic as fuck. You won't do shit for yourself. You won't get mad for you. But when someone fucks with your friend or your family, I forgot. Sorry. That's how some of y'all act. I'm dead ass, but you won't say shit when it comes to yourself. Oh, whatever. They're not going to understand. This is what you guys say. Oh, they're not going to receive it. Oh, they're not going to be able to hear it. Well, why don't you tell anybody nothing? Why don't you talk to them about it? Oh, when it comes to you. Oh, they're not going to. Oh, but then when it's your friend, yeah, they did this. Oh, no, fuck that shit. So much energy for other people, but when it comes to you, So there's a time for you to be mad is what I'm saying. So sometimes the emotional dysregulation is saying nothing at all in a time where you need to stand up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes saying nothing at all and just letting people just go walk all over you, that is the emotional dysregulation. But people often, the anger shadow often gets the bad rap. Like, damn, you go from 0 to 100. You don't know how to regulate shit. Like, you just cussing people. But let me tell you how many people don't know how to regulate. Have you ever been in a red light, or you've been in traffic, or someone did something, or someone didn't turn as fast, or someone wasn't doing anything, and you literally took it personal as if you were having a conversation with that person, and the person was literally saying to you, I'm going slow because I want you to get to work on late. I know that you are late for the doctor, and I'm going slow because I know that. No, you project that shit. You project that. And then you, babe, come on, fuck, God. That is the fact. If you do that, you don't know how to regulate your emotions. Raise your hand, bitch. Everybody, put them up, bitch. Put them up, bitch. Or the flip side, someone's going in on you, someone's doing this and that, and you're just suppressed. Someone's going in, someone's getting too close to your boundaries, someone's breaking a boundary. We may be scared. We may feel threatened because of what happened, right? Something that happened in the past when dad or mom used to yell. Usually, maybe it was followed by some type of physical abuse. So there's a reason why we may do this. This is a survival tactic. But now we have to look around. Okay, is this a random stranger outside that we don't know anything about it? Okay, then yeah, maybe we want to be like, all right, I don't know about this person. But if this is someone in your family, someone that you trust, someone that is just, this is normal to have this reaction, you got to stand up. You got to stand up. You got to set that boundary. The way that you regulate your emotion, instead of just disappearing and dissociating, you got to stay present in that moment. Hey, why are you talking to me like this? The way that you're talking to me is really triggering me right now. So let's go ahead and take 30 minutes so that you can bring it back down a notch, because there's no reason for you to be talking to me like this. Or do you need to say this to yourself? Do you need to implement a 30-minute rule now because you know now that you got an issue with anger? It's what you know, so stop ignoring it. We're at the point now where we are consciously becoming aware of some patterns and behaviors. So if you know I got some issues with anger, I need you to raise your hand when you're not angry and be able to say that. Hey, this is really painful and shameful, but I recognize that, like, I literally will cut people up when I'm mad. And I don't like that because, like, I do this with partners and friends and people that I say that I'm supposedly, that I love and respect. But when I get triggered, all of that shit goes out the window. And I can't expect people to keep giving me passes. Seriously. You can't expect people to be like, oh, that's just Kristen, you know. Whenever she gets upset, she just calls me all these names. And no, I don't want you to adapt to that. It hurts me now. Now that I'm becoming more aware of myself, I don't want you to adapt to that bullshit. I want to step in and be able to hold my weight and be a healthy partner. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be the elephant in the room. I don't want people talking about me and saying, yeah, like, Kristen's awesome, but as soon as you have a problem with her, like, you can't. No! I want people to know I'm a safe space, whether they have to tell me something great about me or they have something, you know, an opportunity, because I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. And I depend on my peers and my people to be the mirror sometimes, because we have blind spots. We have a lot of blind spots because we are so normalized in our bad behavior. We are so normalized. And this is the way that we do things because we don't have no other tools. But I'm here to give you other tools. You do have other tools now. Okay? You do have other tools now because you have resources, because you have options now. It's a lot different than when our parents were young. Okay? So you can literally Google how to regulate emotions now. Stop it. You just have to be in the place where you can own it. That you need to heal, and we need to learn more emotional intelligence. A lot of us are so book smart. A lot of us can solve the equation. A lot of us can do the science work, and we were so good in school, and we can get straight A's, and we can do the spreadsheets at work, but we don't know how to have a basic ass conversation when someone hurts us. You can solve chemical equations, the formulas, quantum leaping, physics, how to get the rocket to this and that same person doesn't know how to say, I'm angry. Yeah. We have a gap. We're missing something. We're putting too much emphasis on one thing and not on the other. That's great that you can solve the formula for this and that, but I need you to be able to articulate when you're hurt too. Like, I need you to be able to just have a conversation and not go from I'm hurt to the person's dead. Okay? Not knowing how to regulate your emotions costs people their lives every single day. Not knowing how to breathe and think about things, not getting the oxygen to your brain makes people do some really fucked up shit. Crimes of passion. Crimes of not knowing how to emotionally regulate. Crimes of not being able to see your significant other in the bed with someone else. And though, yes, that would be very painful and very hurtful, it's not worth their life or your life. It's not worth you being in prison for life because you saw your significant person in the bed with somebody else. I don't think it's worth that. So I would hope that if that ever happened to me, that I would have enough emotional regulation and capability to be like, damn, like, wow, this shit hurts. Maybe I'll yell. Maybe I'll scream. Maybe I'll be like, what the fuck? This is crazy. But I'm not going to just go into the car and just go grab a gun and just shoot both of them. I'm not going to do that. That's a little too much, I think. I don't think it's worth that. I don't think if you're not with me, no one's with me. If I can't have you, no one can. I can't be by myself. I have dependency issues. I don't feel like I have any sense of worth or self without you. I don't know how to regulate this anger, and what you just did made me feel so triggered. Not only am I mad that you're cheating on me, but now I feel abandoned. All these things from childhood are coming up. It's happening again, and I'm blacking out because now you just brought up a wound that was so deep that I haven't even looked at, and I didn't know how much pain I was actually in until this moment, until you just cheated on me, and now I want to kill you. I didn't know how much pain I was really in. I didn't know how much I was really suppressing. If you get to the point where you don't even have there's no other pit stops. That is a reality in our society. There's no other nothing. That is dangerous. That's scary. You took too long to get my coffee, so that's worth your life. Why am I waiting in line too long to get a coffee? I need the coffee right now when I want it. That's a fucking temper tantrum. That's a 2-year-old, bro. That's a 2-year-old. Look at it. I want it now. Except the 2-year-olds grew up and now they have weapons now. The 2-year-olds grew up and now they're in charge of the country. The 2-year-olds grew up and now they're in power. But they never fucking did the work. So are some of these things that are happening being filtered through people who have not done the fucking work? Are some of the things that are happening in this country being filtered through people who were bullied, who never did the work, and now they grew up and became bullies, but not only just bullies in power? You see what I'm saying? We are being ran by people who still have not grown up. We are being ran by people who are still so upset by the way that they got bullied by people, so they said, you know what? I'm going to get even. We're being ran by people who didn't feel enough, who got rejected and never knew how to deal with that rejection. And so since I was never taught how to deal with rejection and I can't just take no for an answer, I'm going to make you fucking pay. I'm going to make you pay for the way that mom rejected me all these years. The way that I was never good enough for mom. Guess what? I never dealt with that in a healthy way. So I'm just going to continue transferring this low vibrational energy to everyone. And I'm going to subconsciously make everyone around me that embodies anything that has to do with my mother feel like they're not enough. Hence why a lot of women jump through hoops trying to get certain men to see them when they're committed not to. Yeah, the lack of emotional regulation, the lack of not being able to have conversations and communicate is why the majority of relationships fail. You want someone to be able to read your mind. You want someone to just put up with the dysregulation and the temper tantrums because you didn't have a parent that did that. So you want your partner to behave in the way that your parents should have, which means like unconditional love and talking you through everything and teaching you how to feel your emotions and teaching you and having all the conversations with you about rejection and about abandonment, all these things that we didn't get, all the emotional regulation and the tools and the intelligence that we didn't get. Now we just want our partners to just give that to us. We want our partners or our friends to just put up with it and look the other way. This is why we subconsciously attract people who also have similar trauma. And this is why you have a whole group of people that will go out drinking together and they love it. And then all of a sudden when one person starts to wake up and say, hey, is this really what we should be doing all the time? Like, shouldn't we actually be talking about this shit? You're weird. I don't think we want to hang out with you anymore. It's just like you're asking too many questions. It's just weird. How come you just, I don't know. I just feel like, why don't you just want to just shut up and just keep drinking? Let's just have fun. Like, I don't want what. And then all of a sudden it's weird. You're not part of the group anymore because now you're starting to wake up to the fact that I'm just hanging out with these people because we're all running from similar trauma together. And why don't we talk about it? Why don't, instead of getting together and drinking every weekend and none of us are getting anywhere, let's all come together and talk about this shit. No one wants to do that. No one wants to do that. So we surround ourselves with people who also don't want to do that, so they don't hold ourselves accountable. This is where you get a whole bunch of people who are on drugs together. This is where you get a whole bunch of people who drink together. This is where you get a whole bunch of toxic ass people that cheat and validate all this low vibrational energy because They don't want to do it either. So it makes me feel good that you're drinking and you're not talking about it, and you're doing this and you're not talking about it, so I can do it and not have to talk about it either. You know? We can all run together. We can all escape together until all of a sudden one person doesn't want to escape anymore. And this is where the trauma bonded relationships turn very, very, very toxic, especially when one person wakes up in the relationship and they're like, yo, this is not sustainable. We need to wake up to this. And the other person is like, no, I don't see anything wrong. What's wrong? So when you get into those trauma bonded relationships, what it is your intuition is telling you you're outgrowing this person, but the fear of having to leave them behind keeps you small, keeps you stuck. You purposely dim your light, or you subconsciously dim your light, because you don't want to have to face the reality that this person is probably not compatible for you, that this person is probably not meant to go into this next chapter. You don't want to face that reality, so you try to force them to be on the healing journey while simultaneously not doing your own work. Huh? Your whole identity, your whole personality becomes fixing them. And then you're the white knight. You're the altruistic. You're the person that's trying to save them. When really you're just distracting yourself from saving you. Huh? What? You thought your purpose was just to be everybody else's savior? You thought your purpose was to just help everybody else and let everybody else know where they're fucking up? Nah. No, you like focusing and fixating on someone else's pain because it's a distraction from your own, because a lot of shit that you have to say about your ex, you embody within yourself. What? A lot of things that you have to say about your ex, you embody within yourself. You just don't want to look in the mirror and say, I don't like these parts of me. So it's easier for you to say, I don't like these parts of them. Those of you that grew up and became parents already, those of you that are already parents, you are already perpetuating some of the patterns that your parents went through with you if you have not done the work. Or you're overcompensating by doing the exact opposite, which also is unhealthy. So you grew up with the helicopter parent. You grew up with the parent that was always on top of you. You grew up with the parent that didn't let you do nothing. So then maybe for you to overcompensate that, you grew up with the parent that was the friendly parent that had no boundaries, and your kid is just running wild because you're so scared to discipline them because you don't want them to hate you the way that you subconsciously hated your mother growing up. So you overcompensate by not giving them any rules. Have you guys been to those parents' house? Have you guys had friends that had the cool mom? They're usually overcompensating from having so many strict rules that they want their kid to be their friend so bad because they want validation that they're not like their parents growing up. It's so easy to see it when you just open your eyes. It's so easy to see how people are overcompensating. It's so easy to see the parents that actually are seeking validation from their children. It's so easy to see it once you just open your eyes. Overcompensating or becoming just like your parent. You know, there's so many ways that we internalize and play out the trauma. You can have two children, very close in age, grow up in the same house, and one person internalizes their trauma this way, and the other child internalizes their trauma another way. One is more admirable. One turned in perfectionism. One can do no wrong. One has astronomical standards and pressure. One is an overachiever, and one got into drugs. Both are hurting. Both are dealing with their trauma in different ways, but this one is looked at as admirable and this one is looked at as shit. But both are fucking hurting and both are burning themselves out. Both are burning themselves out. Both of them don't feel like they're enough. One is better at masking than others. One is better at masking than the other person. They're both still really hurting. And eventually this person's going to hit a fucking wall. And they have so much resentment because they're doing a lot of things for the approval of the parents. And a lot of times the parent is not even giving them the approval that they are seeking. And nothing's ever good enough. Nothing's ever good enough. So every time they reach these new mountains, every time they reach these new milestones, what's next? What's next? What's next? Because they're always trying to seek that validation from outside of themselves because nothing's ever good enough. Those of you that came from poverty, those of you that came from super duper uber poverty, you may have an overcompensation of money and materials. You may think that the purse that you have and the car that you drive is really letting you know that I'm no longer in that. I'm no longer that child that doesn't have money, but really you have $10 in your account. And you care more about what people think and the perception that the world has of you than really having the money to really do this. You care more about an image. You do. Your sense of worth comes from what you got on your shoulder and people thinking that you're this and that and not from here. But you're starting to see in these things that we're losing everything and people are losing everything. And every other time you see people are losing shit, I know it looks really sad. People are losing shit. I know it seems really bad, but it's really preparing us to be happier with less. I need you guys to see what's going on. I need you guys to see the bigger picture on what's going on in our world right now. We are being prepared to be happier with less. We are being prepared to say, I don't need this shit. Actually, I never really needed this. Actually, when I rebuild, I'm gonna stop caring about all this shit. Actually, when I rebuild, I'm gonna get the necessities because I see that I'm a slave to the motherfucking dollar right now. I'm a slave to the dollar right now. Hi, Danny. I'm a slave to the dollar right now. So actually, I need to learn how to be okay and be comfortable with less, because this keeping up with everybody is not it. This keeping up with everybody is making me tired as fuck. This keeping up, I don't actually give a damn, because I realize that I was conditioned to think that everybody wants this and everybody wants the biggest house on the block and everybody wants the nicest car on the street. No, I don't. I don't give a damn. This is keeping me a slave to the system, and this is never giving me the freedom that I actually desire. And when I get down to it, after the novelty of the car wears off, it's just a motherfucking car. At the end of the day. You are giving it so much meaning. Why? You are the one that's giving it so much meaning. We are the ones that gives it so much meaning. This is why these designers can put a price tag of $1,000 on a motherfucking white t-shirt, because we give it the value. We are controlling this whole market. But we care so much and we think that this $1,000 white t-shirt is going to make us something different, but it's not. It's just a white cotton t-shirt. And because you gave it the value of $1,000 is why you bought it. You said it was worth it. You think it makes you do something. You think it makes you feel something. You think it makes you get into this status or this club or this circle that you don't even really want to be in. You're just searching for happiness like we all are, but you're searching for it in all the wrong places. But those wrong places will wake you up to the path of what's right for you. Because once you wake up to your truth, you're going to see, I don't really give a damn about this purse. I don't really give a damn about this bag. I'd rather spend $1,000 and go have an experience. I'd rather spend this $1,000 and go back to my home country and learn my fucking roots, because I'm so over here in the States trying to compete in what's right and wrong. I want to go back to my fucking roots instead of trying to compete with these people that don't even know who the fuck they are. I'm over here trying to compete and have a proximity to people that don't even know who the fuck they are. Take that $1,000 instead of trying to fit in with these people that don't give a damn about you, and go find out where you came from. Go learn about your ancestors. Go look at your roots. Go remember where you really came from, because I'm going to tell you, it's probably a lot more beautiful than this culture and this image that you're trying to fit into. Your authenticity is your superpower, because as long as you keep wanting to be somebody that you'll never be, they'll always have control over you. As soon as you say, fuck this shit, I'm going to be happy with being me, that's when the power starts. But as soon as you want to be somewhere, as soon as you want to be someone, as long as I wanted blue eyes, they were always going to get my money with them contacts. They were always going to be able to sell me some bullshit. As long as I wanted blue eyes, they were always going to get my money. They were always going to keep getting my money as long as I didn't love myself. As long as I didn't like my dark skin, they were always going to keep getting my money with the fade creams, the Ambi fade creams. As long as I continued to hate myself, they would always be in business. As long as I continue to hate my body, the surgeons will always have some money. They bank on your insecurities, pun intended. They bank on your insecurities, pun intended. So why do you think you see all these commercials about getting old and getting fat? Why do you think you see all these commercials about it? Because they're creating an insecurity. And then the next commercial, or at the end of the commercial, oh, you can get a surgery for that. Oh yeah, you can get a surgery for that. We got $1,000 cream that can get rid of the crow's feet so that you can find a man, because it's the reason why you don't have a man is because you have wrinkles right here. Yeah. That's the reason why you've been single all this long time. Yeah, it has nothing to do with this, you know. It's just the fact that you have these two wrinkles, and then the man saw that and was just like, oh my gosh, Those two wrinkles, that's ugly. But if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, but you will. You will. You will. And it's so interesting. We do all this shit, but really, in my experience and what I've seen, people just want to be loved, someone that they can trust. And a lot of people just don't feel that with people. So this is why they never really let their guard down. And this is why they don't ever really surrender to relationships. And they're always on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Ooh, she's hotter. Ooh, he's sexier. Ooh, he has this, he has that. No, you got to water this shit. You keep jumping from relationship to relationship thinking it's going to be different, but you're not different. You keep approaching it with the same surface level bullshit. You're not different. You're not going into relationships wanting to bear it all. You're not going into relationships wanting to really truly be seen. You want to be seen just enough to get by. You're more concerned about being in a relationship so that you can post it on Instagram. Huh? What? But you're not different. I'm speaking to me. When I say when I say you, I'm speaking to me. I'm speaking of all of us. This is just channeling. I'm not speaking. I'm talking about me. Everything you hear me say is from an experience of me. Everything. Or channeling. It's me. I'm talking about me. Yeah. I stayed in the toxic relationships because I didn't feel lovable. I stayed in the toxic relationships because I felt more comfortable proving my worth than someone just giving it to me just willingly. I was like, what do you mean? If someone was just being nice to me, I would be suspicious. If someone was just being kind to me, I would be like, you're too much. What's wrong with you? I literally didn't feel deserving of a healthy relationship, so I convinced myself that I wasn't even fucking attracted to it. That's page 11 in my book. Page 11. You felt so undeserving of a safe, healthy love that you convinced yourself that you weren't attracted to it. You literally were like, he's too nice. They're too nice. I want the asshole. I want the challenge. I don't like it. I like when people make me, no, you don't. You're conditioned to think this shit. Now, all you want is for someone to just be real and just come with it and not have all these fucking games. But you like the games, so don't be upset in the relationships talking about all they did is play games. You played with them, babe. It takes two to tango, okay? You over here rolling the dice and shit. You were doing it, okay? You felt so undeserving of a safe, healthy love that you convinced yourself that you weren't attracted to it. Because you didn't think that you were worthy of it. Because you knew that you also had the ticking time bomb. You knew that you also had this anger. You know that you have these other parts of you that some of your friends don't even know about. Your friends for 20 years don't even know this aspect of you because you hide it. And when relationships get to a certain point, that's when you stop calling people and you stop talking shit because you know you're part of the problem. You've done this. You've done this. When you stop calling the friends and you start tiptoeing around and you take off your location and you don't want people to know that you're over at their house, you know you're doing shit wrong. Because why are you tiptoeing around and why are you hiding everything? Because you know you're doing something that you are not supposed to be doing. That's why. I told y'all you didn't come here for no reason. I'm here to tell you. Stop with it. The only reason why I'm able to get to this point is because I've been super duper honest with myself and I stopped pointing fingers at everybody else because I got tired of being a damn victim. Well, he did this and he did that. No, you overlooked this shit. You did not set the boundary because you were more worried about being chosen by someone than actually being in a safe relationship. You were not a safe space for yourself that you allowed and tolerated. You allowed and tolerated this behavior because you saw your mom do it. Because you saw your mom tolerate the bullshit from your dad or all her other boyfriends. Because your mom always had a man no matter what. So you always have a man no matter what. Don't you see the pattern here, babe? You don't see the pattern? You don't feel worthy unless you have someone standing next to you. You don't feel worthy unless you have someone next to you in the bed, even if it's bullshit, even if it's toxic. At least I got somebody to post on the holidays. At least I can have this fake ass Christmas card with me and the dogs, even though we fight every fucking day. You're not fooling nobody. You have been victim of the perception matters more than the reality. And so many of us in our toxic family dynamics, we are taught to sweep shit under the rug, overlook abuse, and don't let anybody know our business. Don't let anybody know our business. Especially if you grew up in the black community, raise your hand if your grandmothers and your mom don't be having people in our business now. That is a no-no in my community. The fuck? What the fuck? We keep this shit in. And you know why? It's because of generational trauma. It roots back to slavery. We weren't allowed to tell nobody we're this and that. The fuck you mean talking about some feelings? Bitch, get to work. Fuck those feelings. We don't got time for no goddamn feelings. Those feelings are going to get you killed. This is the generational trauma that black people are screaming at the top of their lungs about. And we are so tired of being gaslit. That is 400 years ago. It is a trauma. It's a generational trauma. Just like it's a generational trauma for Europeans and European descent to not have empathy for other people. That is a generational trauma. You guys have literally been conditioned to not have empathy for other people. There's no way that you can sit here and watch people get burned alive and hung by a tree and just watch it like this and say, yeah, yeah, burn them, yeah. That is fucking crazy. Like, that's scary, but that's a conditioning, you guys. No one wants to look at it. No, y'all don't want white people, European people. They don't want to look at their ancestors at the tree like this. Yeah, burn them good, bitch. Burn them up. This is what your ancestors were doing. Still doing. You don't want to look at that. But we're not sitting here saying that you're doing that today. We're just trying to get you to understand that because of your ancestors and your generational trauma, and it is beneficial to not have empathy when you're colonizing people. It's beneficial to not have empathy when you are destroying cultures, ripping families apart. It is beneficial to not have empathy. This is why you can see so many people online that don't give a damn, that are so, like, you can see 20-year-olds. You can see 20-year-old white people that are just, who gives a fuck? Oh, black people. That is scary. That is the generational trauma of not having empathy for anybody and feeling like you're the superior race. They don't even realize how indoctrinated they are. Lord. And we are and we as minorities are so indoctrinated to be like them. We are so indoctrinated to be just like them. We are so indoctrinated to look at them as the standard, which is why we get the surgeries and why we try to do this. Meanwhile, they're trying to look like us. Make it make sense. You're over here trying to straighten your hair. You're over here trying to lighten your skin. You're over here getting contacts while they're over here getting in the tanning bed, trying to get thicker and getting textured hair and getting fatter lips. This is just crazy. Can you all just be on your goddamn self? Can we all just be ourselves? Can we all just be ourselves and learn to love who we are? Can we just love to learn what we got and learn to embrace our own shit? Can we actually just sit down with a pen and paper and think about our own creativity instead of looking at somebody else's shit and saying, "Ooh, I like what they did. Let me do it and put my... What are they doing? I like that. No, God, sit down with your own pen and paper and just sit for a second. Pull from your own experiences. Write some art from your own shit. Instead of you can't pull from other people's stuff because you're not living our pain. A lot of our shit is from our own experiences. That's why you're like, damn, I just feel like these other cultures just make such music because we've been through shit. Yeah, there's a lot of pain that turns into passion. You wanted to be in privilege. You wanted to be entitled. You wanted to not feel nothing. You wanted to have no discomfort. So this is the results of not having no discomfort and not having nothing. These are the results. There's really nothing to pull from. You wanted to be on top. You wanted to have no adversity. You wanted to be this. You wanted to have a cushy life. Well, here it is. You don't got nothing to pull from. You have no motherfucking experiences. Here it is. But thank you. You gave us a lot. You gave us a lot. And you've taught us that we can overcome anything. And you've told us that our relationship with God, spirituality, is sometimes all that we have. And we're going to pull through. Our ancestors and our spirituality is the only thing that we fucking have. This is why our songs and the hymns and our old songs and our slavery songs, this is our ancestors. You can't break our spirit. We're still going to come together and harmonize with our music. Look at harmony just coming in as I'm using the words. I love that. Harmony just came in as I'm saying, we harmonize. You can't break us. You can't. That's why we're strong as fuck. I do. And this is why you could tell me right now, Kristen, you can come back as a privileged white woman right now. Hell no. I will come back as a black woman who I am right now every single time. I love being a black woman. I love my experiences. I love how I love other people. I love my natural ability to speak life into people. And I love how resilient I am. And I used to say, I don't want to be resilient. I'm tired. Stop being resilient. No. I know we shouldn't have to be, but we are. And it does help because I'm built different. And I just had this talk with my best friend. I'm like, yo, I know that we're all capable, but not everybody is built the same mentally. Not everybody is going to be able to go through the same shit and still be right here. There are some people that do succumb from their experiences. We see it every single day. I am built different. Yeah, I am built different. Nails be so healthy. Yes. When you're angry, who has the anger shadow? Go ahead and put a yellow heart if you believe that you have an anger shadow. And the anger shadow means that you have not validated some anger. You have a very hard time staying calm in situations. You're ready to knuck if you buck. That means you have an anger shadow. So let's talk about it. Go ahead and put the yellow heart if you believe that you have an anger shadow. Because I definitely did. Your girl would be pacing through the house just like my dad. And I remember I caught a glimpse of my face in the mirror when I was with my ex 3 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just like him. You guys, and I know we laugh and you guys know I'm very animated. But when I tell you, there would be some times where I would get mad and I would have the same face as my dad. So my dad, when he would get mad, he'd be like, you better, like his eyes would like get really scary. And his mouth, like he would just do this stuff to intimidate you because he was really insecure as fuck. I love you, Daddy, but you know I'm going to be real with how I talk, just like you are, okay? But he was really insecure, and so when you start getting close and you start saying things that make my dad feel insecure, he will start getting more and more intimidating. And so I attracted people like that in my life. Some of my friends were really like that. Some of my friends were all bark, but then when I finally stood up, I realized they were no bite. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I recognized that I was becoming him. And that was one of my biggest fears. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I started having this awareness with my ex. And I'm like, look how I'm talking to him. Like, look how I'm literally snarling. I feel like I am so triggered right now that I would literally be like, if I see that fucking number on your phone again, I'm going to fuck you. Like, this is the kind of stuff. Like, this is how I was talking. What? But then online, hi guys, welcome to my page. Hello, hi, this is me. I'm Kristen. Hello, welcome. No, back it up. Who the fuck was that though? That's some Dr. Jekyll and Hyde shit, just like Dad. On the outside, you got this persona that you're all this and that, but behind closed doors, look how the fuck you're acting. I had to check myself, you guys, just like you do. Just like you do. Okay? So we have the anger shadow. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? That's the first question. Go ahead and get your journals out. If you resonate with having the anger shadow, the first question is, why am I so angry? And I want you to look at the trigger next time. So the next time that you get triggered, I want you to really dissect this trigger. What? It is valid, babe. It is. That's why we're going through it. It's not valid when you're projecting it onto somebody that has nothing to do with it. It's not valid when you project it onto your 5-year-old that is meant to make mistakes. It's not valid when you project it onto the grocery store clerk that's just trying to do their job. It's not valid when you're slamming on the horn, literally obnoxious as fuck because you can't wait 2 seconds. That's when it's not valid. So we want to validate why you're actually so angry, because a lot of you guys, okay, right? Let me tell you this. A lot of you guys are not talking to the person that you're really angry with. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you are fawning and kissing the ass of the person who you're really angry at, and then you're taking all the anger out on other people because you don't feel allowed. Like for me, I didn't feel allowed to take it out on dad. Dad would never let me take it out. Dad would never validate me. And so I never felt like I could release the anger because I had a deep rooted belief that my anger could only be validated by my dad. And the only way that I could release it is for him to say, I'm sorry. So since my dad was like, no shot in hell, I'm going to say sorry, bitch. You got it. Your goddamn mind. I could literally do something, get caught red-handed in the moment, and he'll still find a way of why it's you and not him. You can literally catch my dad cheating in the moment, and he will still say, well, no, it's your fault because you didn't come home in time, and I thought you were going to be home at 3 o'clock, and since you came home at 3:15, and I thought we were going to have sex at 3 o'clock. That's the kind of shit, like crazy ass shit, okay? So since I didn't feel like I could to have that with my dad, it had to come out somewhere. So I found more disempowered people that I knew didn't have boundaries that I could project it onto as a kid. I found people that I knew weren't going to say nothing. You know when someone's more disempowered. You know when someone wants your attention and your love so bad that they're willing to put up with bullshit. We use those people. We have manipulated those people. You have, I have, we all have. Whether it was consciously or subconsciously. Yes, you have. Because anger cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred or transmuted. So don't tell me between 5 years old and right now that you have not taken out your anger on someone that did not deserve it. The same way that your parents did to you. If it's wrong for them to do it, why is it not wrong for you? You have so much to say about dad doing it, but you have yet to look in the mirror and see how you're doing it too. You're doing it too. So, the shadow work. The shadow work is about saying in the moments in between the triggers, sitting with it, booking a coaching call. Y'all want everything. You want everything in the comments. Y'all want everything. You want everything in the DMs. You want to do everything but invest in yourself to get better. You want to buy the alcohol. You want to buy the drugs. You want to go out on dates. You want to do everything. You want to do everything but invest into getting better and talking about the shit. Okay? Don't want to seek nothing. Don't want to seek none of the answers. You want everything given to you. You don't want to sit with it and find out for yourself. You want someone to just tell you really quick. Tell me what to do. No, sit down. Sit down and think about it. Stop being so much in a rush to get to the next thing and sit the hell down and think about it. Asking me what you should do in your relationship. You're the one in it. Connect back to how you're feeling. How does this relationship make you feel? Well, 80% of the time I'm crying and I'm angry. Okay. Is this okay? Are you consciously choosing this? Well, no, they just won't change. Are you consciously being forced to stay in this relationship? Well, no, no, it's not but. Stop sitting here walking around acting like you are chained to this goddamn relationship. Like the way that you're speaking. If you want to stay because you're not ready to leave, because you don't have the strength, because you still don't believe in yourself, because you still want to put up with bullshit, then say that. Say that. Don't sit here and paint this whole narrative where you are the victim and I'm just here and I don't know what's going on. No. You don't like how it feels to continue to be cheated on? We got to start getting a plan on how to get the fuck out. Because clearly this person is not going to change, but you're not either. You're not changing either, babe. When is it going to be enough is enough? When are you going to respect yourself enough to say, I'm out of here, I'm worth more? When are you going to respect yourself enough to say, I'm out of here, I deserve more? Not when are they going to respect you? When are you going to finally respect me? No, babe, go in the mirror and say that. Go look in the mirror and say that same thing and then give yourself the answer. Because your inner child is waiting for you, not dad, not mom. Your inner child is waiting for you to say enough is enough. Your inner child is waiting for you to stand the fuck up and say, we're done with this shit. Your inner child is waiting for you to say, hey, you know what? I'm no longer going to make you go over to mom's house every Sunday so she can just talk shit about you and use you as a punching bag because mom still hasn't dealt with her own resentment. You know what, little inner child? I'm going to actually stand up for you for once and say, you know what, mom? I've had enough. I'm done being your punching bag. If you can't have a conversation without disrespecting me, then you won't be around me. Because I don't know how many ways I can tell you to not comment on my body. I don't know how many ways I can tell you to stop talking about this and that. I don't know how many ways I can tell you to stop giving your unsolicited opinion. Yes, you're my mother, but you don't know me better than I know myself. And this whole narrative that you've been carrying all this time is old and tired, and I'm exhausted. You don't know me better than I know myself. You need to stop trying to know me better and look in the mirror and learn yourself. Because there's a lot of shit that you've been doing for my whole life that you complain about that you are the reason why it's happening. It's your attitude. It's your approach on life. It's the way you think about things. It's the way you treat people. But no one has been brave enough to hurt your feelings. So I will, because I am so tired of you hurting mine. I am so tired of allowing you to hurt mine. These are the conversations that our inner child are waiting for us to have. But you think that your inner child is waiting for mom to say this. Newsflash, you've been having these conversations with mom and dad for 30 plus years. They are who they are. You have failed to radically accept them. You have failed to radically accept them and also move accordingly for your safety. You don't have to go to mom's every day. You want to. And it's hard to disconnect from someone that we love. It's hard to disconnect from family members because all we want is for them to see us. All we want is for them to see I'm happy. Even if I'm not doing what you think I should be doing, I'm happy. And isn't that enough? No, it's because they aren't happy. It's because they want you to live the life that they didn't. It's because they resent you for doing what you wanted to do instead of listening to them because they listened to grandmother. I hear it all the time in my coaching sessions. I hear it all the time with my boomer clients. Well, I did everything that my mom said, and I just respected my mom even though I didn't want to do it. I'm like, listen to you. Listen to you. I didn't want to do this, but I did it because my mom said so. Look at you. You want your children to do this? You want to continue a generation of people pleasers that are fucking as miserable as you. You want your children to be 60 years old with all these fucking regrets because you did it? Say it out loud because it doesn't make sense. Don't you want the better for your children? No, you can't say that because the little girl in you still has resentment. And so until you acknowledge that little girl, she's not going to give you any fucking peace with anyone else. Why should we validate this when we're never validated? Why should we forgive them when we don't forgive ourselves? Why should we have compassion for them when we don't give no fucking compassion? Well, start giving yourself those things. Start giving yourself compassion. Start forgiving yourself. Well, we can't do that when we're always critical and criticizing our shadows instead of getting curious about them. You see what I'm saying? You got to replace, write this down, replace criticism with curiosity. Write it again. When I am triggered, I replace criticism with curiosity. Why am I showing up so fucking angry? Ask yourself this. Your inner child is screaming out for help. What am I still angry about? Well, I don't want to be this. I don't want to just be angry all the time. I want to be able to have normal ass conversations. I want to be able to stay cool. I want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to match that energy anymore. So I'm going to go over here. This is how I show up now. I learned to master my anger with my dad because I finally realized, first of all, I felt my anger. And you guys know I was on here every day screaming and having my thing. And he should have did this. Because I realized I can't have these conversations with my dad, but I still got to get it out. I can't have it with him because he's just going to hang up or gaslight me, and it makes me even more upset. So I'm going to have it with you guys. I'm going to talk on my podcast about it. I'm going to give myself my own outlet. Fuck that. I don't need dad. Okay? I don't need dad. He's incapable. He does not have the emotional intelligence. Okay, I've accepted that, but I still got to get this anger out. Just because he can't receive it and just because I can't have the conversation with him does not mean that my body physically does not need me to have the conversation. The fact that I haven't gotten this out and I've just dealt with it for all these years is what makes me feel that I'm not deserving. It's what makes me feel like I'm not worthy. So I finally had to prove to my inner child, no, boo-boo, you are worthy, and I'm about to prove it to you right now. Here's free range to fuck it up. Fuck dad, fuck all this shit, fuck all of it. I needed to not honor thy mother and thy father for just like a little bit. I needed to just honor my fucking self. I'm so tired of having empathy for everybody else but myself. What about me? At some point in the journey, you do have to be a victim, but not a victim from the standpoint of like, my ex. No, a victim of why you chose your ex in the first place. That's what you're a victim of. Let's go deeper, babe. Let's go deeper. You're a victim of the mindset that made you think that this was the person that you wanted to marry. This is what you wanted for the rest of your life? Nah, this is what you thought you deserved because this is what you saw in your environment growing up. You're a product of your environment. That's what you are. You are a product of your environment, and you have adopted the beliefs and the paradigms and the thoughts of those before you because you are conditioned to trust your parents more than yourself. You see? So mom said, do this, even though it doesn't make me happy. You see how you're literally subconsciously doing shit that doesn't even make you happy because someone told you that it's the right thing to do. Babe, how does it make you feel? You've lost that whole step. Mom told me that going to college and becoming a doctor was going to be the right thing to do. It's going to make her proud. But every single day that I go to the office, every single day that I go to the hospital, I literally want to throw up. Every single day that I arrive, I have to give myself a pep talk in the car. You can do this. You can do this. But I don't care if I spent $300,000, $400,000 on my degree. It is not worth a lifetime of being in purgatory because that's exactly what it is. And people don't want to acknowledge it. That is purgatory. I'm here doing something that I don't even fucking want to do. I'm living a life for somebody else. That's hell to me. Sorry. People don't realize that hell is a state of mind, and a lot of people are living it already, talking about when I die, I'm going somewhere. Bitch, you're there now. What are you talking about? What do you mean when you die, you're going here? You're there right now. Look how you're acting. Look at your environment. Look how you're showing up. You're there right now. Okay? All right. These downloads are for real today. These downloads are for real. Oh, by the way, I'm going to my dad's celebration of life today. We're doing it at the park. And this is what I'm wearing. I am wearing this, all black. And, let me get ready. So we're going to celebrate my dad. We're doing a pop-up in the park of all his art. Those of you that didn't know, my dad is an artist, and we got all his artwork when we cleaned out his house. So now we got all these easels, and we're going to his favorite park where he married, walked my sister down the aisle in this park. He taught us how to drive in this park, and we're going to plant a tree with some of his ashes. And, but what I'm wearing is my dad really, really loved hats. So when I cleaned out his house, I got some of my favorite hats from my daddy. So this is one of my favorite. And one of his shirts. My dad was a fashionista. I took after my dad a lot with the clothes. So this is one of my dad's shirts. Yeah, this is one of my dad's shirts. So I'm definitely going to wear this today at my dad's little celebration of life. Hello, Dad. We're going to play all his music. It's just going to be such a party. We're going to have so much fun today. And you guys, let me touch on that for a second when it comes to grief. I really genuinely believe that I grieved my father 2 years before he actually passed away. I started grieving him before he passed away, and a lot of you need to do the same. A lot of you guys need to grieve the parent that you wanted. A lot of you guys need to grieve the parent that you didn't get so that you can start to accept the one that you actually have. Because they weren't all bad, and they did give you tools, and some of the beautiful, best parts of you come from your parents. So let's not shit on them. Let's not downplay their experiences. Let's not overlook how hard it was for them in this generation. Okay? Like after you validate yourself, after you really sit it and you see your parent as you see your mom as just a little, you see your mom as just a girl, you see your dad as just a boy, And you just realize, like, damn, they really tried. They really did. And my dad did. And it was like, after I just let go of the anger, I'm like, yo, I'm not going to like go to the grave with you holding you like this. I love you. I appreciate you. And I have compassion for you. I see how hard it was for you. And I also see how hard you're suffering inside, even though you won't say it. I see it. I've felt it my whole life. And I've always tried to save you, Dad. I've always tried to save you. I've always tried to make you feel included. I've always tried to let you know that you're not a burden. I've always tried to help you with money. All the things that I knew intuitively that my dad struggled with, I tried to fill in the gaps as a daughter. I did. I tried to fill in the gaps as a daughter and not make him feel ashamed and just do things. But then it was just like, yo, you're taking advantage of me too much. I ask you for months to come over to my place because I bought a home and I'm proud of it. And I want you to come over and I want you to see my place, and you never have the time. But then as soon as you need $200, you're at my door. That shit fucking hurts, bro. You don't think I'm putting the dots together? You never have time when I just want you to come over. I just want to make dinner for you. I want you to see my house. But my dad never owned a house on his own. He was always in apartment from apartment, going from thing to thing, getting cars repoed. My dad never had this stability. And so I really feel like my dad had a hard time being happy for me and my sister because we were able to achieve these things that he didn't. And like, even my dad, I knew that he was kind of jealous of my sister and her husband because he was a provider. He was a provider. He is a provider and my dad's not. And so I could just tell little things that he would say, you know, and I'm just like, shouldn't you be happy that your daughter found someone that is stable financially? Because it was stressful with you all the time, Dad. Let's just keep it 100. It was stressful going outside and being like, oh, the car's repoed again. That was my experience as a little kid. It was traumatic being like, am I going to be able to go to school today? Is the car here? What's going on? Like, you know, because my dad was just always living life on the fucking edge and he never like took care of his shit. And my dad never wanted the party to stop. My dad never wanted the party to stop. So as a child, even though my dad says, I wanted you, you're my baby, I love you, the messaging that I'm getting is that you actually don't. You actually want to party more, and actually playing spades and playing tunk and getting high with your friends actually seems like what you want to be doing. Because if you actually wanted me, and you know that you have me on Tuesdays and Thursdays because you and my mom are divorced and now you guys are joint custody, and you have me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, why would you pick Tuesdays and Thursdays for your homeboys to come over and play tunk? Because you don't know what to fucking do with me. Because you don't know what to do with me. If those were my 2 days that you got to spend time with me and you want me, why are those the 2 days that you have your homeboys coming over doing drugs and getting high and cutting up? And I'm just sitting here. This is not quality time with me. This is not quality time. Like, this is not spending time with me. I'm not, why the fuck am I over here? I'm getting more traumatized being over here because I'm trying to get your attention. And I shouldn't even be over here around this shit. Like, why am I over here? You don't care. And it wasn't that. He does love me. My dad loves me. Now, from retrospect, as an adult, he does love me. But my dad was running from some shit. And not even a children. And that's why I think like people think like getting pregnant, oh my God, we're going to have some babies. Now this person's going to stop. No, they're not. Children are not going to make people. Sometimes children do. And that was the point. Sometimes, and it's usually with mothers because we have to. We are here. We're carrying the baby. We have the connection. So a lot of times when we have children, moms are forced to level up. Moms are forced to go through a spiritual awakening. Moms are forced to go through a whole fucking change. But then the resentment of that little girl and you, because you didn't know, a lot of times it wasn't planned. A lot of times you didn't want to. So now, oh fuck. Now my responsibility forever is to take care of somebody when I didn't even get to take care of myself yet. I didn't even get to travel. I didn't even get to be just a girl. I didn't get to swirl and twirl and not have no responsibility. First, I had to take care of my sibling at a very young age. So already I was parentified. I was already the older sibling taking care of everybody. This is not my experience, but this is someone who I'm talking to, someone who I'm channeling. I'm the younger sibling. But I had to take care of my siblings at a young age. I felt obligated to do that. I felt like I had to do that. And then I ended up having a baby probably before I was really ready, if I'm keeping honest. But I feel a lot of shame to say that because I love my children. I love my children. But if I could do it over again, I would have waited. Because there was so much that I wanted to do. And now I have resentment and I have anger, and it's not my children's fault. It's not my children's fault. I should be excited that my kid wants to go travel. But I'm also hurt for the little girl in me that didn't. I'm hurt for the me that was, my childhood was fucking not what it should have been. I deserve that too. And I'm here to tell you that you can still have that. I'm here to tell you that it's not over just because you did. I'm here to tell you that even if you're 50, you can still be that little girl. I'm here to tell you that even if you're 70, you can still be that little girl. I'm about to take my mom. As soon as we get everything and this stuff and all this stuff gets into alignment and everything gets into alignment, you better believe I'm going to say, Mom, I already have her. Write out the fucking list right now of this shit that you've always wanted to do right now. Write it out, Mom, because you are that little girl and you sacrifice so much for me. And it is like my wish before you leave this planet to be able to knock some things off this list because you deserve it. You deserve to have an awesome human experience as well. And I know that she has. And she's like raising you and you got, but no, there's some things that I know my mom didn't get to do. My mom wanted to go to law school after college, but she got pregnant with my sister. That hurts her. I know it does. And guess what? My oldest niece just got into law school. My oldest niece just passed and she just got into her first law school. And I know my mom is just like, and I said, Mom, why didn't you do it? And she's just like, I just didn't think I was smart enough. And then I'm, your dad, I just felt like we were 25. I felt like I was already so old. I was 25, 26, and I already thought that I was just so old and I didn't have no kids yet. It just hurts me. It just hurts me the way that was just so pushed onto our parents. It was so pushed, like, what do you mean you don't have it? Not everybody wants that right away. And it's okay if you're not a young mom. We need to stop with the shit. I'd rather be an older mother and actually have emotional intelligence and not fuck my kids up the way that our parents, than be a young mom just to say you're a young mom. You don't even know what the fuck to do. And not that anyone has a manual, but damn, having some emotional intelligence and being able to regulate your emotions when you say that is a good thing to have before having children, being able to have a little more patience, being able to understand your emotions because you're bringing in a whole human that has never done this before. So wouldn't you want to have the tools so that you could give them tools instead of showing them, hey, we don't talk about feelings, we just drink. Oh, we don't have conversations, we just punch holes in the wall. Some of you need to have more grace and compassion for yourselves for the way that you're showing out right now and look at your childhood. Some of you have so much, like, you just put so much on you and you're like, God, I hate how I am. I hate how I do this. I hate how I do that. Why am I like this? You're so mean to yourself, but you don't look. I need you to look back a little bit. I need you to sit still and be brave enough to look at your childhood for a second, because there's going to be a lot of answers once you do that. You are literally programmed. I'm trying to, but it's so scary for you to look back at the domestic violence. It's so scary for you to look back at that time where mom was passed out drunk and you didn't know if she was going to wake up. I know it's dark. It's so scary for you to go back and think about how some of your family members touched you inappropriately. But this is why you have a fear of intimacy and why you're so promiscuous right now, or why you're so or why you're so asexual right now. It's because you're not talking about how that touch really impacted you. You're dissociated from it, but your body is keeping the score. You're dissociated from the darkness in your childhood. A lot of you say, I can't remember, it's just so dark. Yeah, that's a survival tactic. Are you ready to tell your body that you're no longer in survival and that it can finally bring up those memories? Because that's what's going to happen, babe. And it's already happening. This is why you're crying so much out of nowhere. This is why you just have these bouts of anger out of nowhere, or your anger is disproportional because finally now you are telling your inner child, hey, you know what? It's okay for you to be angry. You have every right to be angry that dad chose this over you. Even if we knew why and we can have empathy, no, I deserve someone who is present. And I'm tired of having to give what I didn't get. You see what I'm saying? It hurts me that I have to continually give all this patience to my kid. I have to give all these conversations to my children. I have to give all this stuff. But here I am inside fucking screaming because everything in me is telling me to whoop their ass. That's the honest truth. Everything in me right now is telling me to whoop that kid's ass. And I hate that. I hate that this is where my mind first goes. I hate that my mind first results to violence. And it lets you know that you were in a violent household if that is your first reaction. So can you stop saying that you had a typical childhood and start being real? Hey, so what was your childhood like? Oh, it was typical, mom, dad. No, stop saying the shit. Well, no, I had a pretty dark childhood. There were some moments of happiness, but if I'm being real, My dad beat my mom the whole time. This is not me. I'm just saying it. My dad was really, really abusive. And so now I look at it and look at my relationships. I've attracted very abusive people, or I'm the abuser. I've attracted very abusive people that act just like my dad, or I'm very abusive. Can you admit that? Can you admit where you've been abusive? Can you admit that you've been the abuser? Can you admit that, whether it's verbally, emotionally? Okay, thank you. Because I've been both too. I'm the perpetrator and also the victim. Hi, Jay. The truth will set you free. Go ahead and put it in the chat. The truth will set you free. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Stop trying to have this facade that you can do no wrong. The sooner that you can let go of that shit, the sooner that we can actually get down to business. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest. This is shadow work, guys. What we're doing right now. This is shadow work. Do you see how unpainful it has? It doesn't have to be painful. This is what we will be doing in my coaching containers. This is what we're doing in our Emerge container. We started out yesterday. I had my first Emerge container. We started out yesterday. Let's go. One of the questions, where do you feel unlovable? Damn, it's been 2 minutes in. Let's go. What do you mean? We're not here. Let's get to the root, babe. Where do you feel unlovable? They're all just like, okay, Kristen. I'm like, you guys, let's go. Where are we at? And when they get the email tomorrow, we will go deeper. Already the questions and everything that I have planned for them tomorrow, it's going to challenge them, because that's the point. If you can't talk about your insecurities in this way, you're not free. Hi, Sherry. If you can't talk about your insecurities this way, you still are not free. Because you still care. You still have not integrated these parts of you that you do not love. Thank you, Danny. I love you. Okay? You still have not integrated these parts that you don't love, but you want other people to love these parts. You see what I'm saying? You haven't integrated your anger. You haven't shown any validity or love towards your anger and the experiences that you went to. But you want your partner to put up with you when you're a ticking time bomb and just accept it because you know that you're hurting. But come on. Don't you want to be able to have a conversation and say, hey, that really made me angry. I'm going to take some time, instead of that made me angry, God damn it. Shut the fuck up. What do you think is going to be more traumatic for your kids? What do you think is more traumatic for your kids? What do you think is more traumatic for your kids? God damn it, motherfucker. Why are you or, hey, that really made me angry and I want to talk about this. I want to talk about why this made me angry, but I want you to give me 30 minutes because I really want to be able to collect myself and I don't want to say something that I don't mean. Okay? What kind of parent are you looking at? What kind of parent are you trying to be? What kind of person are you trying to be? Because we need to be able to give people grace. Some of us go off the handle about things that we've done. Some of us literally go off the handle, 0 to 100, off of things that we've done because you haven't forgiven yourself, because you haven't acknowledged it within yourself. So now, because I've acknowledged a lot of things, when someone does something and it hurts me, I'm like, yo, I've been there, but come on, let's talk. I've been there. I'm not going to sit here and judge you and do all this stuff because I've been there. All right? So all I ask is that you communicate with me. Please don't ghost me. I'm honest with people now. Hey, it really hurts my feelings when you just ghost me. I know why you're doing it because I used to ghost people. So let's work together to heal this. And so I promise it's a safe space. You can talk to me about things. And when I approach people like that, they're just like, whoa. And I'm like, what? And they're like, I've never had someone just talk to me like this. And I'm like, yeah, I love you. I care about you. I'm not going to look at this one time that you're having a explosive moment and judge you and be like, get the fuck out. I know that you're hurting and I know who you are when you're not angry. I know who you are when you're not angry, but I also love this version of you too. But also I'm going to set some boundaries because it's not fair it's not fair for you to talk to me like this, but can I be a safe space for you to kind of unpack some of this stuff? Because I don't think that this anger is really proportional to anything that's happened today. So let's go deeper, babe. What's wrong? That's how I am now. I'm not going to go from 0 to 100 and beat on my chest. What for what? I'm just showing that I'm just as incapable of regulating my emotions as you are if I'm acting like that. I'm showing that I am just like you. And where would that get us? Nowhere. It gets us nowhere. You know, it gets us nowhere. And also, I have the emotional intelligence and I have done the work on myself to see that you're hurting. I'm not taking it personal that you're cussing me out. And this is what happened with me and my dad. Finally, when I separated myself from my anger and I stopped taking my dad's anger personally, when he was in the hospital and he was getting frustrated, and he'd be like, come get me right now. He would just be so mean. My dad would be so mean, you know? And I would just be on the phone and I would feel it, and I would feel it a little bit. My little girl would be like, oh my God, Dad's mad. And I would say, no, it's okay. Dad's not mad at us. Have we, and I go through the questions. The number one question I ask when someone's projecting their anger is, have I done anything? Have I done anything to warrant this anger? And I get really honest with myself. I sit and think before I just yell at somebody and say, you don't have a right to be mad at me. I literally think, have I done anything? Have I done anything? And if the answer is no, I'm able to, I'm very much like, hey, Dad, I know that you're angry. And then I look at the situation. Well, he's literally finding out that he's paralyzed in the hospital. He can't get up and run anymore. He's been running from this, coping with cigarettes and alcohol for 70 years. He's going to have some anger when he's going through withdrawal. He's going to have some anger at what's going on, right? That's normal. That would be a normal reaction for anyone, right? So instead of making it about me, I was able to stay present, stay in the frame, and just say, yeah, Dad, I know you're angry, and I know this. I know you want me to do this, but I'm not going to. I know you want me to come get you, but that doesn't make any sense. That's literally a death sentence right now, and I'm not going to be a part of that. Asking me to take you off this is not fair. I'm not going to do it. So you can be mad at me or be mad at the situation, but I'm going to go to bed tonight and we'll see how you feel in the morning. And when I got to the hospital to see him, I didn't even say anything. I didn't say, are you still mad at me? Because what the fuck is the point? I know he's laying in the hospital bed. He's hurt. What's the fucking the point of me to say that? So I just come in, hey, Daddy, how you doing? And guess what? Hey, babe, I know I was a little difficult last night. I was just really in a lot of pain. I know, Daddy. I know this is hard. I know. It's okay. When you treat people with love, when you meet people with kindness, it really is a mirror. But when you match people with that anger, they feel justified. But when you can meet people with love, even when they're screaming, and that's real strength. That's where your real power lies. I'm not going to let you get me dysregulated and mad. For what? Yeah, you're just my dad, and you're upset, and you're projecting that onto me because you don't know how to regulate. And I know that about you. So I can handle you a little bit different because you're my dad. Maybe someone else wouldn't deal with it, but you're my family. You're my dad. I've protected myself. I got my boundaries. I'm where I need to be. My inner child feels safe now. So I can deal with you now. But I couldn't deal with it until I validated my own anger. You see? I couldn't deal with it until I learned how to cope with my own emotions, because before I learned how to regulate, everyone triggered me. So it just felt like I just need to stay in the fucking house. I just need to stay in the house all day, because if someone says something or someone looks at me the wrong way, I'm triggered. I've literally been so triggered that when people have looked at me, people have literally been at the bar or been out and someone is just like looking like this. They may have something on their mind and I'm literally like, why are they looking at me? See, this is why I don't go out. People are so fucking rude. I'm building a whole thing based on someone looking. When how many of us have had a face when we're in deep thought and we don't even realize we're just like thinking about shit, and you're just, you look like you're looking at somebody, but you're not even seeing nobody. You're really just in your head. And look, because someone's so fucking insecure, they think a stranger, this person has never even met you and you think a stranger has beef with you. That's some insecure shit. That is some insecure shit. I know. I'm just talking about myself, you guys. I'm just talking about myself. I love it when you guys say, oh, you're so on point, and this is me. I'm just brave enough to talk about my own shit. All I'm doing is talking about my experiences, and you are relating to it because I'm not scared to talk about my shadows. I love all of me. I do. I love all of me now. The mad parts of me, the resentful parts of me, the manipulative parts of me. I don't choose to operate in that behavior anymore, but I love the part of me that was manipulative because I understand why I was being manipulative. I was trying to get my needs met and I was going about it in a wrong way. I don't need to beat myself up about this for the next 20 years. I can just say I was manipulative because I was trying to get my needs met, and that's it. I'm not that person anymore. Next. I'm not going to sit here. I was manipulative. I was manipulative. I don't deserve anybody. I was manipulative. I don't deserve. No, why are you manipulative? Understand your circumstances. You would give anybody else the grace when you understand the trauma that they've been through. Okay, you're not like that anymore. You're changing. You're working on it. Okay. That's all you can ask for. I'm not going to sit here and say, for the next 30 years, you were manipulative. You were manipulative. You were a bad person. Fuck you. No, I did it. Okay, next. It's exhausting, bro. It's exhausting. And I can tell now how much I've moved past that, because even when people in my life hurt me or do something wrong, I'm able to give them grace, and and sometimes they're not able to receive it. Like someone in my family, someone recently did something and I was just like, hey, just communicate. It kind of just hurts my feelings when it was a situation when you just go ghost. Just communicate. If you don't, I'm fine with whatever you want to do, but just be real with me and don't leave me hanging. That's all I ask. And then the person was like, I'm so sorry. And that you could tell they felt so much shame, because I didn't yell at them. I didn't berate them. I just said, hey, just do this. And then just felt so much shame. I'm like, you don't have to just continue feeling shame. It's over. And she came to me and she was just like, you know what I just noticed? And I'm like, what? She's like, you told me how you felt. You were direct with me and then you moved on. And I was like, yeah, I'm not dwelling on shit anymore. I'm not holding grudges. It's wasting my energy. You made a mistake. I've made a mistake. You deserve forgiveness. I forgive myself. Move forward. If you continue to do this, then I won't deal with you as much. That's it. If you continue to go ghost, I will acknowledge that I don't like people that go ghost, and then I just won't deal with you. And then when you ask me why I don't hit you up, I'll say because you always go ghost, and I want people that are reciprocal. I'm not going through all this drama and extra. I'm just going to move accordingly. I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm going to tell you how I want to be treated. If you're able to do that, cool. If you're not, cool. I give it to myself, so I don't need you to give it to me. I give the love to myself. So I'm not banking on yours. I have my own love bank. I have my own unlimited love bank. I don't need anybody's. Okay? Have you shared the live with a couple people yet? Oh, Joker, I love you. Thank you. I go ghost a lot. I know my friends get their feelings hurt. I feel unable to be available sometimes. It feels like a demand. So it's okay. It's okay. I have not been as vocal with my friends as I used to. I have not been with my friends. There's a difference between there's an issue, there's confrontation and you're going ghost, versus saying, hey guys, I just need to be in hermit mode and I actually just don't want to be attached to my phone. I don't want to feel like I have to answer back to your thing. I've had to do this with my friends. I've had to set new boundaries for myself and say, hey, I no longer feel obligated to answer you back right away. Sometimes my phone gives me a lot of anxiety. Sometimes when I get text messages, I am going through a functional freeze, or because I have ADHD, sometimes I experience burnout that even when I see the text message come in, it makes me feel overwhelmed. Like I feel overwhelmed. I feel stressed out. I literally get angry, and it's not at the person, but I'm like, why is everyone wanting to talk to me? And then I realize I don't have to say anything back. And if it's something that's going to be extended with my people that I do talk about a lot, I do give them the grace. My best friends that I talk to on a daily basis, I will just send them a message and say, hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm going to be a little MIA this week. I'm okay. I'm fine. But I just don't want to be on my phone and I just need to go inward. Cool. Let me know. Okay. And I have friends that respect that now because they're not insecure and they're not like, oh my God, does Kristen not really want to be my friend? No, they trust the fact that we have something going on. I'm going to tell them. This is what it is. I'm telling you what it is. I just need to go inward. That's it. Because I was taught to handle things on my own. So even though I know I don't have to, sometimes it is my preferred method to go through grief and certain things on my own. It's not because I feel like I have to anymore. I know all of my friends now. Reach out to me if you need something. I'm here if you need me. All of my friends have done that 100 times with my dad. I'm good. I really will. I just need to be by myself. That's it. I just want to be by myself in my own energy, in my space, and I don't want to feel bad or like I'm doing anything wrong. I want to be able to not see you guys for 2 months and still be able to like pick up. I don't want to have to stay connected all the time. I'm really realizing that a lot of me needing to be out extrovert, that wasn't me being real. I'm actually way more introverted, and I love even going out by myself more than I like going out with others right now. I love going to my dinner by myself. I love putting my headphones in and going out dancing and getting into stuff and being like, oh, let's see what I get into. It's just, I feel so good because I've been so codependent for my whole life that I'm just really enjoying me. I love my vibe, and a lot of people are not on my frequency. A lot of people are not walking down the street like this. And I don't want to have to match. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to match me. Sometimes I just want to be in it. I want to be the main character in my movie. I do. I want to be the main character in my movie because I've been so conditioned to be the best supporting actress and everybody else's that I'm having such a blast building the life what I desire, building my life on who I am, and also validating how fucking cool I am, validating how much charisma and how much I'm a dope ass human. I'm smart as fuck. I'm intellectual. I have emotional intelligence. I care about people. I have a big heart. And this is not me being cocky. This is me finally owning the truth about who I am instead of entertaining all the bullshit lies. Because why is it okay for me to think I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm not enough? But it's not okay for me to say I'm smart, I am enough, I'm capable, I'm more than enough. Why is that wrong? It's not. It's not. So yeah, I'm going to walk around with my head up high. I'm going to walk around with my shoulders back like I'm a beautiful, kind person because I am. Like I'm a beautiful, funny ass fucking person that has a lot of talent because I am. And just because I don't like doing math equations all day or just because I don't like doing certain things in school that I didn't excel in doesn't mean I'm stupid. Doesn't mean that I'm not enough. It just means that I thrive and I'm interested in different things and you guys tried to put me in a fucking box and that was never going to happen. That was never. Can you see this? Can you see me right now sitting at a desk? Fuck no, that is not me. It never was, but I thought it was. I tried to make it be. That ain't me. It never was, and I'm so glad that it's not. Could you imagine me at a cubicle right now? Kristen, stop talking. It would take 1 second. If I tried to go back to it right now and tried to go back to that structure right now, I'd be over there for 2 seconds. It'd be like the second day. Can you please turn down the... That's why I know better. I know better. I know that I got to make it work, bitch. That's why I know I got to keep going because the alternative is not going to be good for nobody. I can't do it. Okay? I can't do it. As soon as they say, hey guys, we got to work late tonight, but don't worry, we're going to give you a pizza party. Huh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Okay. I don't want no goddamn pizza party. I want some money. Okay? I don't want no dry ass pizza. I want some money, bitch. Give me the goddamn dollars. Save the pizza and split this shit up under the table. I don't want it on the taxes because when I put it on the check, it feels like I didn't even work shit. I don't know why I did these extra because now I'm in a different bracket and now I just took more. So spare me on the goddamn pizza and give me this money. Give me the, what did you spend? You spent about $2,000 on pizza because there's how many people here? Split that shit up. Keep all that shit. Give me my goddamn money. See, that's why I couldn't work there no more. Because this is what I would be. Before, I was a people pleaser. Now, after the spiritual awakening, there's no motherfucking way. Because how some of my managers and how people talked to me back in the day and how I allowed shit, no, we wouldn't make it. So, we wouldn't make it. Never would have made it. Won't. I won't. Can you imagine? I would bring this too because this is what calms me down. So you better believe I'd be at that cubicle. I'd be at that cubicle. Okay, it's time for your 15-minute break. Well, I don't smoke, so. Well, I do smoke, but what I smoke, I'm not allowed to smoke here, so. I'll be right here at my desk. Oh, it's time for my 15-minute. Y'all need this. Hello. Hey. Break it up now. Take a break. I'll be doing sound healings in the courtyard, bitch. I couldn't work there. They'd be like, yo, you're bringing too much peace and harmony here. We need people to be stressed and on edge, okay? This is how we function, from keeping people in fear. You're bringing too much harmony. We need people in fear here, okay? Okay. People can smoke out here, but I can't play no goddamn music. So I have to be here stucking up the secondhand smoke, but I can't be over here playing the sounds. We can have smoke, but not sounds. We can have the smoke, but we can't have the sounds. I know. The corporate laugh. The corporate laugh. Hello, guys. It's time for the town hall. This is what. Tell me if this reminds you of something. Oh my God, it's 10:10. Let me see. Tell me if this reminds you of something. Tell me if this reminds you of something, okay? All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for quarter one. Okay. You already know, bitch. And then, and you know, everybody on edge, everybody wants to know. And we're waiting for that one outspoken person at corporate America that doesn't give a fuck about their job to say, when are we getting the raises? That's what we care about. I don't care about what Q2 is doing. We don't care about the merger that's happening. I don't give a fuck about these spreadsheets. I don't care about any of this. Okay? So they just talk, and I just feel like, what are you saying? What are you saying when we're in these meetings? We're all, and then someone says it, and oh yeah, what about the money? Yeah, so I knew that you guys were going to ask that. I knew that you guys were going to ask that. So the money. So we're looking into it. We're looking at some ways that we can do it. We're actually going to add a koi pond. We're going to add a koi pond in the courtyard. Yes, so we may not be able to put it on a check, but we're investing things that make you want to be here more. Yeah, we're making this place your oasis. Yeah. So so we'll get to it soon. You know, we'll get to it soon, and we Q2, and then it's like I don't know if they plan these meetings on the same day that you get that Q2, that quarterly report when you get back to your desk. You know how you get the corporate information, and it says Q1 we made $6.8 billion. We made over 400% more than last year. And you just got back from the meeting talking about a koi pond, bitch. You just got back from a meeting talking about we don't got no money yet to do this, but it always ends up like that. I feel like I would go back to my desk, everyone's pissed off, we'd log in, and all of a sudden this email would be up, and it would have the picture of the CEO, and it would say Q1 results, 6.8 billion, just in the first 3 months. And the reason why is because we pay you 40 grand. That's why. The reason why we got 6.8 billion is because we only pay you 40 grand each. And you guys think that's good. Yeah. Excuse me. Why do we have this and y'all don't ever got no money? Well, what's going on is, what's happening is this. What, John? Hold on. Let me see what John, you want to handle this? John, you want to handle this? And John's like, nah, bitch. God damn, why you put this shit? And John gets up because John can talk shit. John can, you know what I'm saying? John can just say whatever. I'm so glad. I'm sorry. I just can't do it no more. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. So anyway, guys, it's getting close to my time. I'm going to go over there and go celebrate Dad. And yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Okay? Let's see. What we going to end with today? What we end with today? Okay. Let's see. We'll do a motivational message. All right, we'll do a motivational message to end. Okay, the motivational message is we need to get up, don't stop. All right, don't stop, pop it. All right, I need you to pop it. The area on February 1st, we are doing a healing circle. So if you've been wanting to get something in, the link is in the bio. If you've been wanting to work with me one-on-one and you're in the Tampa Bay area on February 1st, it'll be at the park. We're getting in a circle. We're going to do sound healing, and we're going to talk. Okay? It's not dramas and extras. We're sitting here talking about things because there is so much healing and just getting shit off your chest. You're tired of going through the same circles. You're tired of going through the same loops and hoops. You got to find community that you feel safe enough to just get it off your chest. And this is the community. We're not judging. We're just here working through shit. Okay? There's no judgment here. We've all done stuff that we're not proud of. We've all done things and been version of ourselves. So who are you to shame someone else just because they're at a different part of the journey than you are? You're no better, no worse, no nothing. Okay? Let's see what the card is. Those of you that are in my Emerge container, be on the lookout for your email tomorrow with your homework and what we are getting ready to do. I really hope that you enjoyed the first session yesterday. I know I did. Bitch, come on now. Come on, I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up, bitch. Can't make it up. You're going to have grace if you want to do shadow work, because you're going to bring up some things that make you feel ashamed. This is why you've hit it. You have to know that the reason why we do shadow work and the reason why it's so painful, if you were just able to integrate these things and you just love these parts about you, you wouldn't go into relationships wearing a mask. So you got to give yourself grace that this is clearly something very sensitive for you. This is clearly something very painful to you, or you would have been integrated this shit a long time ago. Why would you want to walk around insecure as fuck? You wouldn't. So have grace for yourself that these things really are. Even if it seems like it shouldn't be a big deal, it is a big deal to you, and don't invalidate that shit. When you were a little child, things are different when you're 5 years old versus 35. Things are different when you're 10 years old versus 45. So you got to allow that little child to grieve through that perspective, even if it doesn't sound right or sound stupid. You need them to say, I needed my mommy in that time. You need them to say that. We need to give ourselves the space to be the little children again. I needed my mama and it really hurt me that she didn't come to this. You need to say that, because you have to validate that that's okay for you to feel that, because this whole time you've been walking around on earth not feeling valid for these feelings, all pent up. You're all pent up, backed up. And now a lot of you have hit the wall because you can only run for so long. And now you're crying at the drop of a hat, and you're angry all the time, and you're depressed, and you're laying in bed. But that's exactly where you're supposed to be. Because if you think about it, after your sexual assault, you didn't rest. After your sexual assault, you didn't lay down. After your sexual assault, you didn't talk to nobody. You just kept fucking going. You don't think that was depressing? You don't think that's warrant of laying in the bed for a little bit when you finally acknowledge that the person that was supposed to be protecting you actually violated you? You don't think that would be worth laying in the bed for a couple of weeks once you finally stop dissociating from it? So please stop holding yourself to these standards. You are here. You are human. You are not a fucking machine. So of course you're going to be sad and depressed when you finally acknowledge that you were violated. Of course you're going to be angry when you recognize that your dad in fact made a choice. He chose drugs and in the streets over you. Whether it was a conscious one or not, doesn't matter, because the three-year-old in you doesn't give a damn. The 3-year-old in you can't rationalize why dad did it or not. All you know is that you felt like you were not good enough. All you know is that you felt like there was something inherently wrong with you, that the person that brought you into this world didn't want shit to do with you. And so if the person that brought you into this world doesn't want shit to do with you, why would I feel safe with some person that I just met yesterday? So of course I'm going to self-sabotage. And of course I'm going to push people away. And of course I'm not going to believe that love really exists, because the 2 people that brought me into this world don't love me the way I need to be loved. But they do love me. But they do love me. So I want you to write down in your journal, what are some memories that I have with mom and dad that display that they love me? Write that down. What are some memories that I have in childhood with mom and dad that actually made me feel loved? Write those down. I want you to root in those memories too. Because some of you are super duper hard on your family. Super duper hard. And I'm not saying that they haven't hurt you. But damn. Your perspective is skewed right now because your anger is really inhibiting your ability to see the full scope of things, because your anger is what's been protecting you this whole time. Your anger has been the safety blanket to the deep, deep grief and sadness that you truly feel, that your parents are getting older and your parents are coming to the end. And we're in this time and you're realizing, I don't have that much time left. You're realizing, oh shit, this is going to end. And how would I feel right now if my dad left this planet? How would I feel if your parents are still with you? How would you feel right now if you got the call that your parents were no longer with us? Would you feel justified in the no contact? Would you feel okay that you never acknowledge anything else but what they did wrong? Some of you are bullying too. Some of you only talk about how your parents fuck up, but you never say that the things that they're doing right. Or some of you have parents that want to actually heal, but you're so angry that you can't put down the rage and actually listen. Because you think you're right about everything and you're not. You think you know everything and you don't. Some of you don't listen either. Some of you got a hot head and you don't listen either. Okay? Some of you act the same way as mom and dad, and you just don't see it. I try to hide my anger up inside, but I still need you anyway. I love that you write. I can't wait to hear more of your music. All right, the next two. Hi, Rach. The next two is balance. Balance, okay? You want more balance in your life. You want more balance in your life, okay? And that is because you're no longer in survival mode, okay? The survival mode card came out because you're no longer in survival mode, okay? And this is why. So the fact that you are crying, the fact that you are feeling all these things should let you know that there's somewhere in your brain chemistry, in your body, that feels safe enough to start releasing this. So you must be doing something right. You must be doing something right, getting yourself to a safe space to release all this pain, because why now? Why now? Why now are you crying? Why now are you angry? This stuff happened 20, 30 years ago. Why now are you just now? Because you're ready. Because you know, if I don't do this, I'm going to continue to have these shitty ass relationships and experiences. You're doing it now because you realize how much you contribute to your own suffering. You are contributing to your own suffering by being avoidant in the things that hurt you. And then you continue to attract people that hurt you in that way because the universe is trying to wake you up to the fact that you got to speak your goddamn truth. I'm going to keep sending people that keep crossing this boundary until you're brave enough to speak up about the boundary. Because why are you not speaking up about the boundary? Well, because when I try to set boundaries in childhood, you're not in childhood anymore. Oh. We're 30 years in the future now, and you're still in the past. Because in childhood, every time I tried to do this with my mom, you're not a child anymore. You don't have to stay in the room. You can leave. You can fight back. You can yell. You can do things now. If mom is still beating your ass, we got a bigger problem, and you need to call me. I'm for real. If mom is still whooping your ass right now as an adult, you need to call me, and I need to help you get to a safe space. But if not, I need you to stand up for yourself. Stop acting like you're still that 5-year-old child. This is what I'm talking about with the emotional intelligence being stunted. And I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm saying this to bring you awareness that you are literally living by arbitrary rules that you don't have to. Well, every time when I used to yell at mom, she would shut down. Okay, let her shut down. Doesn't mean that what you have to say is not real just because she shuts down. Stop worrying about everyone else's reaction and focus more on your truth. You are so worried about everyone else's reaction because you're hypervigilant and you're worried, you're conditioned to care about everybody else's shit. But right now, this is the opportunity for you to care about you, and you are choosing to care about everybody else. You see how it's different? It's a choice that you're making. I'm here to wake you up to the pattern that you're in, a disempowered pattern that you have to keep doing this. No, you don't. You just have to be willing to disappoint people. You just have to be willing to make mom mad. You just have to be willing to upset mom if that means honoring yourself. You're not doing it maliciously, but you're just tired of it. And you're allowed to be tired of it. You're allowed to be tired of it. If the only way that you can get love from your mom is by disrespecting yourself, I think that you have some priorities and some things out of alignment. And I think there's some conversations that mom needs to have because that's very fucked up. The only way that me and you are good is when I'm not honoring myself and listening to you. Call it out, man. Stop running from this. Nah, mom, I want to talk less about why you're so angry that I'm following my heart and more about why you're mad that I'm following my heart. Let's keep it on motherfucking topic. Now, I want to talk about less about why you're mad that I'm doing something that genuinely makes me happy, and let's talk about more around why that makes you mad, because that's the real issue. No. We're not going to deflect and go this and do that because what I'm doing should not have this much of an impact on you. So let's really get deeper here. I know I've never had these conversations with you before, but enough is enough. I'm so tired of me living my life having such an impact on you. And I'm so tired of actually giving a damn. I am. I'm tired of giving a damn around how my decisions impact you when I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm so tired of it. So tell me why you think that I should live my life on your terms. You need to ask these questions because it's going to stop them in their tracks because they're not even aware that they're doing this. So once you've done the work to process, start using your intelligence to your advantage. Start acting like you know better. What's the point of being on this journey and getting enlightened and you don't act like you know the truth? You're still acting like you don't have, you know what it is. So stop. This is why I'm able to talk to you guys like this, because I already know the truth. This is why you're like, God, I feel like you're speaking directly to me, because I'm not sitting here asking you questions. Do you think this? Do you think? I know it is. I know that we're following similar patterns. I know that you're doing this shit because I talk to you guys every single day. I talk to you guys every single day and I hear it over and over and over again. Well, my mom's never going to say sorry. So that's the reason why you've never spoken up. So you can only speak up when someone's receptive. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a weird rule that you just made up for yourself. You see, you made that up. You made that up. And you're living by it. You were conditioned to do it. You didn't make it up. You were conditioned to live by these rules. And now you are making a conscious choice to continue living by rules that are not in your best interest. Why? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Why am I still following traditions and living a life that I don't even like? Because it's not mom. It's not mom. You're giving mom way too much power. It's you. You're making a choice to continue living by her rules even though they hurt you. Because you care more about mom's approval than your own. There's no other way to get around this. It's black and white. Ask yourself why that is. Why do I care more about mom's feelings than my own? Why do I feel responsible for mom's happiness? Ask that. Ask yourself that. And then if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to be responsible, then stop being responsible. It's just like that. Stop acting like your mind is something that's just taking over you. No, you are in control of your mind. You just feel bad. You just feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad. Okay, well, how bad do you feel by not honoring the shit? Let's talk about that. I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad. How bad do you feel right now staying quiet all these years? I'm always going to be an advocate for you. So don't hire me if you want me to be an advocate for mom. You've been that your whole life. I'm here to advocate you for once. Because I know that it takes you advocating for yourself for you to actually get out of this fucking loop that you've been in for so long. Close this chapter. Golly, I'm so tired of hearing about how dad hurt you. I'm so tired of hearing about it. Feel it, process it, and move forward. That's all you can do. And I'm not saying I'm tired of hearing about it from you guys. I'm saying that a lot of you guys are getting to the point where you're tired of hearing it. Like you're tired of hearing yourself talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You're just tired of hearing about, well, my dad. Okay, well, your dad did this, and now we're 30 years from that. What are you going to do about it? You going to keep letting him be in your life and not say shit? You going to set a boundary? What you going to do? What we doing now? What we doing? I appreciate that shit. Don't tell me you love me. Don't tell me you want to be this and that. Just tell me the truth and let me let you know if I want to fuck or not. Be real. That's it. That's the message. Stop tiptoeing around shit. Be real. All right. I love y'all. I will see you later. Maybe I'll stream a little bit from the thing. Maybe I'll stream a little bit from the park. I'm going to bring my... she got it popping while the workout. I love y'all. I'm gonna bring my tripod, and maybe I'll stream a little bit if you guys wanna join and come see it. All right, y'all. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow if I don't stream today. And then those of you in the course, be on the lookout for the email tomorrow morning for your first assignment for Emerge. Okay. All right, y'all. See ya. Love you. Bye, cat.